So Arsenal won, and he's sipping a celebratory drink. Norwich 0. We've got our first goal of the season, first 3 points or first points of the season. Hard fought win in the end. Wasn't great. Wasn't good on the eye. Kenny, you was at the game. You did your fan cam. What was it like for you at the game to witness it? Because obviously on screen we only follow the ball. What did you make of it? Give me a little breakdown, and then we'll get into player ratings, mate.
Well, I think the first thing you notice is that Norwich came for a point, and that, they left out quite a few of their great players, and they played Pookie up front near their own. And when I say up front near their own, I mean he had to do the work without very little support. So it was a case of him holding the ball up, and in the areas where you wanted Pookie to be sharp because he'd done so much work. That's where I think he was lacking. He felt a bit heavy legs. He'd been taking on a massive workload. But in terms of us, I thought, we looked a bit competent in terms of team selection, made changes. It's clear to me that Ramsdale has got a good chance of being a number one if he wants it. And I thought that, Tom Sayu did all right, but we still can't break teams down. Really cannot break teams down. We are ponderous. I think the out ball was the ball over the top for Aubameyang, but a striker with no confidence isn't going to take the chances that came his way, and he had loads. I mean, loads. This isn't Aubameyang for 2 or 3 years ago for me.
Yeah, that pass from Odegaard, probably the only thing Odegaard did all game, if we're being honest. But a prime Aubameyang, confident Aubameyang from...
Well, you look at the chance, yeah. You look at the chance. Everyone says it's a great save from Tim Krul, but Aubameyang puts that away. But then there's another one where Aubameyang, he hits it first time. He's actually doing the right thing. But Aubameyang 2 or 3 years ago had enough confidence to go into space and pick his spot, but confidence is really low.
The first one where he tried to whip it over the keeper when Krul was out of goal. Yeah, he shanked that big time, didn't he? It looked funny on TV. It was like, what are you doing?
Even his goal, it was finally. But I think, let's face it, we're not playing with much confidence. But it was good for Arteta to finally realise that Smith Rowe and Odegaard can't play on the same side, and he's finally realised that making noise is quite useful to this team.
100% when he came on, but we'll get into that. Let's start with Ramsdale. Obviously, Leno was dropped to the bench, and probably rightly so. We're not massive Ramsdale fans as such. It wouldn't have been our first choices of keepers, but he made his Premier League debut today. I thought he did pretty well. He didn't have a lot to do, but he did that little shimmy against Pookie, and I was like, if that was Leno, I probably would have had more heart attack than I actually did. But what did you make of his distribution and his overall score?
Much better than but I think that Ramsdale has come here to be the number one. He didn't come here, bring his parents here to be a number two. He came to be the Arsenal's number one, and a clean sheet would give him a lot of confidence. I thought that the defence had big trust in him. He gave them assurance, and I'm going to give him a 7, just because of the fact that he brought confidence to our defence, not chaos.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I'm not his biggest fan. Yeah, I'm one of them that's you got to prove me wrong, rather than I'm just going to back it.
I'm in the same camp as you, Lee.
I thought he was good though. His distribution was a lot better. He looked more confident for somebody that's been relegated 3 times. I didn't expect that level of confidence.
I think when we talk about goalkeepers and relegated 3 times, he just wants to play football. He doesn't care. At the moment, he's at a stage where he just wants to play. He's getting experience in the first team in the Premiership. Yes, he's letting in goals, but he's learning. And I think, you look at Pickford. He played for a relegated Sunderland, and he got his move. And I think what it is in that right now is that there's a great kind of dearth of English goalkeepers. We are going from primarily Brazilian. So when an English guy gets a chance at this level, it's only going to make Arsenal better if he's come here with great confidence and great ambition. If he's come here just to earn a few quid, then we're not winning. So we're going to need players like him, hungry players, if we're going to make an improvement. Also, other things, but hungry players will get us in the right position to, down the line to be a better team.
100%. Another player who made his debut today, Tomiyasu, a player that we've probably never watched in our lives. I was very surprised because a lot of people have been talking him up and saying he's good with the ball and he's good at centre back, he's good aerially, etc. 2 things that I noticed today, and I'm sure you probably did more so at the game because you see probably more of him and his movement and stuff. I was very impressed with his pace.
Yes.
I was impressed with his physicality. He weren't getting bullied today, and that's something that we've had with Hector Bellerin at right back. Just get him shoulder barged and moved. You ain't doing that with this guy. I'm not going to get overly over the top with him, but it was a very competent debut. What did you make?
I thought so. Again, you don't want chaos. You want people calm. You know, I think when you talk about younger players, you know, you want players who've played a lot of football, you know, for the teams that we've bought them from. And in that respect, I think Thomas Sayu showed no level of inexperience and showed no level of fear. So in that respect, I was very pleased with his debut. His debut scars are very pleased with him. And you know what? He had no problem showing his kind of disciplines in an offensive area as well. And that's what we want. We want our right backs to show discipline defensively, but we want them to be part of the attack. And I thought he did pretty well. Again, it's going to take time because the quality wasn't really there right at the team. But for me, I'm going to give him a 6.
Yeah, I actually thought he was really good today. I really did. Let's move to the left side. Kieran Tierney.
A lot better today. I think Kieran, again, he's benefited from loads of issues where, you know, there is calm around him. There is some kind of organisation. There's a goalkeeper who's desperate to be the best he can possibly be. So that brings assurances to performances. And, you know, having Odegaard in the team, having Saka as well to do the overlaps, I think that kind of helps his game in an offensive way. And, you know, he didn't really have much worry defensively like he did against City, Chelsea, and to a certain extent against Brentford. We played a lot better than we did in those 3 games. So I think Kieran Tierney plays really well when the team plays well, and but I think he got affected by poor performances. But you know, it wasn't great, it wasn't spectacular. But I'm going to give him a 6 as well. I'm not going to mark him too high because I wanted a little bit more in terms of like creativity and crossing ability in both halves.
Yeah, his crossing's gone a little bit off the boil recently, but like you said, I think that's because he's more hit and hoping now rather than you have to have someone who's hungry, who's going to gamble. You know, Andy Gray says gamble. Harry Kane gambles. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo. We don't know whether he's a striker or a second striker. His first goal today, he gambled, and it was a 2-yard tap in. Fair play. Yeah. He's actually scored more goals than our entire team. But
I've got to watch the highlights, so don't spoil it for me anyway.
I didn't see his second goal, but Bruno Fernandes goal was decent. Let's move to Ben White. Obviously,
organised.
There's been a lot of talk about Ben White not being really good. Yeah, and obviously now he's got Tomiyasu next to him. Gabriel will come to in a minute. Do you think that? And I want to ask you this, yeah, because I know you really look at it when you watch every player. Like obviously, when I'm on a watch along, I'm kind of watching it, but I'm not watching it like you are. Yeah, we've got a 6'2" right back. We've got, I think, Gabriel 6'3", 6'4", maybe. Yeah, he can win headers for fun. Tomiyasu is quick, strong, and can win headers. Do you think that's a damning indictment on Ben White in terms of the price tag, can't win headers on a regular basis, that you have to put 2 players like that, or do you just think that no, that's part of football? And
I think Ben White is kind of what a continental defender, because you look at the continental defenders, like the best continental defenders. They don't tend to be overly blessed with height, and in terms of like aerial ability, they tend to be the sort of people who read situations, you know, organise a back four, and know when to make a tackle at the right time. If you look at you look at the World Cup winning captain for Italy in 2006, 5'10",
yeah,
you know, Cannavaro, one of the best defenders of all time. Baresi, was he 6'5"? No, he wasn't. But they can read the situation and they can get players away from their favourite areas, away from goal, and that's what you want. You know, Ben White to do. You want him to organise the defence. You want him to big on the ball. You didn't actually bring Ben White to win headers, and I think that's what we're looking at. I think in terms of like organisation, I thought Ben White had a good game. Apart from that aberration towards the end. He did all right, but if you want Ben White to win headers, then you're going to have to get a defender who's going to attack. Because I think what's happening right now, you're going to have someone who's going to do what Ben White does, and you're going to have someone who attacks the ball. You know, not makes tackles, gets tight, and wins headers. And I think that's not what we bought Ben White for. But today I'm going to give Ben White a 7 because I thought his organisational skills were beneficial to us today.
Next to him, Gabriel back in the team. And,
Happy for that.
Yeah, he's probably our best defender, if we're being honest with ourselves.
It could be. There's still certain things in his games where you don't want to get into situations where he's having to use his pace to get himself out of trouble. And today, he didn't really have much in terms of like action or people running for the ball. But what he did, when he did get the ball, he dealt with it very well. And, you know, what we wanted from Gabriel as well is his outpassing as well. And I thought his outpassing was quite good as well. There were a few aberrations where there was a bit of inaccuracy. But, you know, when you've got Aubameyang on a sort of shoulder defence, you want that kind of quick outpass. And I think he's more capable of doing that.
What's his score, Kenny?
I'm going to give him a 7 as well.
Let's move into midfield. One player that we kind of like him, but he put an Instagram post out saying he just wants to be loved. I was shocked that he started over Thomas Partey, if I'm honest, but I kind of get it. Thomas Partey's not 100% fit. Maitland-Niles started in midfield for Arsenal.
He brings a bit of solidity to midfield. He brings a bit of athleticism and a bit of discipline that we don't have with Granit Xhaka. And, you know, he can also play right back. I thought he wasn't in a creative sense, but he did try to create. He tried to pass the ball forward. He made the right tackles. His position was really good. You know, his shots and goal, I wouldn't encourage him to do that too much. But for me, I thought that was a good performance. I'm going to give him a 7. I was very pleased with him.
His partner, Sambi Lokonga, got something.
Man of the match for me. I thought he brings a lot of energy into our team. You know, players know he can run with the ball. He's got a lot of confidence, and players know that when he's on the ball, they can make those kind of runs. I thought it was a really good performance. I'm going to give him an 8. I was very pleased with him.
I thought he was man of the match as well. Let's move on to Martin Odegaard.
Do what he can. You know, he is what he is. I would like him to get in the last third and score more goals. And I'll be screwing that for it, because I think there's a player in there that if he wants to be the top player, has to be scoring goals. So, you know, I do get slightly frustrated with when I don't see that from Martin. But in terms of like moving forward with, you know, in terms of Odegaard as well, disciplined, tidy. I think he kind of benefited when Smith Rowe came into the game. But I'm going to give him a 6.
Let's move out to the left-hand side, Bukayo Saka.
A lot better in the second half when there was more space. First half, I thought he was a bit trying to get in the game. I'm going to give him a 6. There's more to come for him, but I want more goals. I want more goals and threats, you know, because people talk about him being a fulcrum of our attack. If you're a fulcrum of our attack, I don't want crosses and creativity. I want goals. You know, you're at an age now where I know you're only 20, but you're an old 20. You're an experienced 20. Yeah. You know, you played an international tournament. You played, you know, most of last season, the season before. You got right now grab the season like with the back of your hands. You know what I mean?
Grab it like you just grabbed that moth, Kenny. Yeah.
Yeah, got him.
Let's move on to the other side. Nicola Pepe.
Well, Nicola Pepe as well. I thought it was a better game. I'm going to give him a 7 because I thought in the second half when there's space, he got involved a lot. But there's certain things where if he doesn't have how do I say it, an end product or in terms of creating chances and goals, he's going to waste this great opportunity he has to be a good footballer, because I think there's a good player there. Saying that, I was quite pleased. I gave him a 7 but I want more. I need more from him.
Yeah, I thought he came in and out of the game today. Like started good, corner, but his corners were poor, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. But again, it's none of those things. It's that, you know, I think, can this manager get more out of him? Can another manager get something out of him? I think he needs to be told, probably, that, you know, you're the best player in the team and I'm going to build a team around you. And I think that will give him a lot of confidence. But I don't think it's possible in this team and under this manager.
100%. Let's move to the striker. He got a goal today, our only goal of the season. Had a few other chances. Looked a lot more lively today, a bit more energetic.
I think so. I think Pierre definitely looks more energetic and lively. But again, he's got there's confidence issues that we didn't see just before lockdown and in our cut run, and definitely under Unai Emery. And I think Pierre played his best football. And I think, you know, we're a long way from seeing that Pierre. Aubameyang. But what I would say is that he got his goal. He kept on fighting. I'm going to give him a 6. I could have given him higher marks because there was a hat trick there for him if he had more confidence. Because there were, in my opinion, chances that he normally gobbles up.
100%. Let's move on to the substitutes. We'll start with Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe, he brought a bit of energy to our team. He changed things a bit. You know, he got in the last third, which he does really well. He's probably going to see a probably better Smith Rowe if Odegaard's not the team. If Odegaard's the team, then you can only play one on the bench, and at the moment it's got to be Smith Rowe because you can't sacrifice Pepe or Saka, giving us genuine width down the right and left hand side. But Smith Rowe only came on, I'll give him a 6 because he did affect the game in a very positive way.
Yeah, I agree. Thomas Partey.
Again, he affected the game in a very positive way as well. You know, he carried on from where Samuel Lokonga took off, gave us a bit of energy, solidity. I'm going to give him a 6 as well.
Who else came on? Cedric Suarez.
Cedric Suarez did, steady Eddie. I'm going to give him a steady Eddie mark at 5.
Last but by no means least, the manager.
Well, the manager was the manager had nothing to lose, innit? No one's going to have a go at him if he's left that Leno because Leno letting 5 goals in his last performance, and he's letting 8 goals this season. So, he's letting 9 goals this season. So, you can't really have a go at a manager if he's done that. So it was a win-win. And plus another thing as well, he's got players coming back. He's got a new, rightish back. So there was everything going for him in terms of that selection. Why not change it? It hasn't worked. And you've got to give him a pat on the back for having the bravery to do that. But what he needs to do right now, he needs to improve us offensively, because if he doesn't improve us offensively, he's going to lose his job big time, because not being able to break teams down, it's going to cost him, because against better teams, they're going to just hit us in the break, score, and then it'd be like trying to get out of Alcatraz, trying to break down their defences. But seriously, he's got to take confidence into Burnley. Burnley are going to be a very, very competent team, but are they a 90-minute team? They got players who can hurt us. Woods can hurt us. Ashley Barnes is an absolute pain in the posterior.
McGinn, what's his name? McGinn plays for Villa. Who's the guy in midfield?
For Burnley.
Yeah. What's his name? The midfielder, the jinking little midfielder. What's his name? It's not McGinn. He plays for Villa.
Yeah, he plays for Villa. You're talking about. They got McNeil, who plays
McNeil. That's him.
Yes. Ex-Man United. McNeil.
Yeah, he's a bit of a problem. He is.
He is a bit of a problem, but you've got to stop the crosses coming in. If you stop the crosses going, you basically stop Burnley's game. But if you let crosses go in, then we're going to have a hard game next week. Well,
at least we ain't got Granit Xhaka to mess it up. Give me Arteta's score.
Mikel going to give him a 6. Bravery. It wasn't kind of a result. If we had a better result, I'd probably give him a bit higher. But I think, what? He needed that win badly. We all needed it as a football club and fans, but I think he really needs that. He really needs that for the pressure to be off. But he could have done with a resounding win to, give him more confidence going in, because he's still got certain concerns, and he's still got selection issues, especially if injured players come back in reckoning when Granit comes back. So he's not out of the woods yet.
100%. Listen, Kenny, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. And we're going to do the podcast at midday tomorrow, people. So make sure you come check that out.
All right, Lee, look after yourself. Enjoy the weather in Spain, and don't let any moths get to you.
Mate, I can't stand moths. Like, literally, I hate them. It's mad.
Who likes them? Who likes them?
Yeah, they're horrible. Yeah. Listen, Arteta out. We're out of here.